How you doing? Morbius is getting a buff. Would that make him the best science champion in the game? Question mark. So I just want to own up to something I said 2 years ago. It's very rare when I'm wrong when it comes to MCOC, but I just want to you know, if I'm wrong, I want to admit to it. So what am I talking about? So 2 years ago, I said Morbius was the best science champion in the game? Question mark. So to be fair, I didn't say he was the best science champion in the game. That's why I put a question mark. But but I gotta say, I gotta own up to it because I think right now, I don't think he's the best science champion in the game. Even just the 7 stars alone, I don't think he's the best 7 star champion in the game. So before his buff, but his buff, can he be the best science champion in the game? We'll see. So it's gotta own up to it. It's kind of like that's what happens when you just kind of like jump to conclusion based on deep dive. You're bound to make mistakes. Also a couple of things when it comes to his signature ability that I misread. So let's go to the game. So if you're in the process ranking up your 7 star, I would say definitely you want him awakened. For sure. At least at Sig 1, it's going to become very vital. We're going to talk about his buff, how his signature ability is going to play a role. But let's talk about him at Sig 200. So you really want him awakened, preferably at max Sig. So if you don't have if you can awaken the 7 star, I really could encourage you to rank up the 6 star. If you can awaken him, take him to max Sig, you're really gonna value so much because of his signature ability, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. So when he came out, so basically the way he is now, uh, when it comes to his signature ability, so let's look at the second bulletin point. When taking direct damage from any sort, gain non-stacking undying passive that falls off after non-taking direct damage for 2 seconds. So I thought this works for any damaging effects. This means incinerate, uh, shock, all these pretty much other things that can inflicts damage over time. But I was wrong. It's only from bleed, poison, and degen. He's also, if you do have the undying passive, uh, you pretty much will not get knocked out from recoil. So keep in mind, you need to have what do you call this, to get the undying passive. You need to have a damaging effects. Now it used to just be direct damage, but when it comes to his buff, it's gonna be any damaging effects. You will have an undying passive, so you need to have that for you to be able to not get knocked out from like recoil or any other things that could cause him to get knocked out. So let's talk about the other bulletin point. So while Undying is active, instantly regenerate 50% of direct damage. So I really think, at max Sig, this would be really like you increase your willpower by 50%, but it really isn't that way. I don't know what happened when it comes to like the way it's supposed to be, but it's really not like as good as I thought it was. I thought it would be exactly what it says, like regenerate 50%, but it's not like that. So, like I mentioned earlier, I made a mistake saying that he was the best science champion in the game, but I did say question mark because I misread when it comes to his abilities. It's definitely partly my fault because it doesn't really make sense what Kabam is saying here. So let's go. So like I mentioned, this was definitely not one of my big L's for sure. So I gotta take an L for this one for sure. But to be fair, like I said question mark. Okay, look at Morbius Morbius Scorpion. When I said best science champion in the game or bound to get nerfed, there is no question mark because I knew when Scorpion came out from the deep dive that he was gonna be without a doubt the best science champion in the game. So we pretty much base everything on deep dive. Same thing with Mr. Sinister's buff. As you see, there's no question mark. Mr. Sinister, best buff in 2024 without a doubt. So I pretty much just based it on his buff details. That I knew he was going to be the best buff in 2024. I wouldn't even say best buff ever when it comes to Mr. Sinister, without a doubt. So as you can see here, also same thing with Onslaught, but this time I do have a question mark. This is before Mr. Sinister got buff. I said Onslaught, best mutant champion in the game, question mark. I think before Mr. Sinister got buff, I think a lot of people would agree that without a doubt, Onslaught is the best mutant champion in the game before Mr. Sinister got buff. So yeah, so sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't, but that's what happens when you jump to conclusion. But let's talk about Morbius when it comes to his new signature ability, and you really want him to be awakened. You know, something I said, like when it comes to like in Nick 136 channel, that I said that his signature ability, the way he is now, that is better than Hercules. I was like, because I misread what it meant. You know, like when it comes to his undying passive, taking all damaging effects, as well as when it comes to his ability to regen. But now, perhaps I was talking about the future, like 2 years from the future. Who knows? Woo! Who knows? No one's gonna know. Nobody will ever know, right? But now, when it comes to his buff, it's all damaging effects. So this is so powerful. And not only that, it's also another upgrade. It's also gonna be like, if he has a dying passive, he's not gonna get knocked out from power stings. That is so valuable, especially in Incursion, which is the best game mode in MCOC, especially when you get really high in Incursion, because one power sting, you're insta KO because their attack is so high. You know, it's ridiculous. I fought an opponent with like 350,000 attack. Okay, that's like almost two health pulls of Sasquatch. Okay, that's a 7-star rank 4. So it's ridiculous how high their attack is when their power sting. Just even one power sting, keep that in mind. So be able to not get knocked out from power sting, it's so valuable, especially in Incursion. Also, all damaging effects, I've been knocked out through Incinerate before, so he's not going to be knocked out from Incinerate before, as long as you have him awakened with Undying passive. So this is really like, you know, almost Corvus level. You know, something I said a year ago, I said Corvus is without a doubt best champion in the game if he didn't run out of charges. This is not as powerful as Corvus, obviously, but of course, but you know, the good thing about Morbius, if you don't get hit, it's never gonna run out. Like Corvus charges eventually runs out, but this one, as long as you have Undying passive, you know, if you definitely want to be running Liquid Courage to keep the Undying passive, he's never gonna be knocked out from recoil. Now, power sting, degen, and all damaging effects, which is so powerful, you know, when it comes to his ability. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I want to say. He's getting a buff. It's just really awesome. So, let's go back to the game. You know, Diablo was going to be my first 7-star rank 4, but as you could see, I have him unawakened. And I don't really want my first 7-star rank 4 to be unawakened. It's just perfect timing when it comes to Morbius. He's getting a buff, especially when it comes to his signature ability. And, you know, you definitely would want to have him, preferably like at max sig, but really at least sig 1. That's really valuable, and he's gonna be my first 7-star rank 4, and you're definitely gonna see some showcase with Morbius. I don't know where though. It's most likely gonna be Incursion, maybe practice mode. I don't know, because I'm gonna be doing my run when it comes to Necropolis. I have enough revives, and they're about to expire when it comes to my revive. So I will be gonna be Incursion. Hopefully it's not gonna take me like, what is it, took me like 80 something days, 90 something days. Even to be fair, I did take a bit. I took about 15 days off, so to be fair. So yeah, I can't wait to rank this guy up when it comes to Morbius. He's gonna be my first 7-star rank 4, and I can't wait for his buff. It's gonna probably take me like a few days to rank him up, but you know, once he's gonna be my first 7-star rank 4. So that's it. Thank you.